We want you to understand that when you are able to feel yourself by caring about how you feel to the resonance of what you've put into the vortex, that when you practice that for a little while until you know it, until you own it, until you are it, that then this wonderful thing happens. What's in your vortex begins to reveal itself to you. You begin to realize it. Thoughts begin to occur to you. Impulses begin to occur to you. Your timing is good. You rendezvous with people, places, things, events. All kinds of things start happening. There's a synchronicity, a cooperation. Now, the cooperation has already been there, but in your caring about how you feel and reaching for the highest resonance of who you are, you become a cooperative component too. And when that happens, the manifestation becomes obvious for you and everyone around you to see. Until then, you got to be happy with feeling it before you see it. And we know that's a big step, because there are a lot of things that you can look at that make you feel really good. And there are a lot of things that you can look at that cause you to not feel so good. So we're asking two things of you. We're asking you to be more selective in what you look at, but we're going to be light about that, because we know about momentum. And we know when you got a momentum going that doesn't feel that good, and some freaky non-physical ghost says to you, you create your own reality, you know. And you should ought to kind of try to find a thought that feels better. You just want to punch our lights out, because there's a momentum that often, always holds you where you are. Our favorite story to help you let yourselves off the hook relative to this subject is, sometimes what you say to us sounds just like this. Abraham, I've fallen out of an airplane and I don't have a parachute. Do you have any suggestions for me? And we say, just one. Hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. Because it's hard to reverse that kind of momentum. And so sometimes there's a momentum going. Something happened, you focused on it, you talked to somebody else about it, you got that momentum going, you crossed the 68-second mark about 1,000 times in the last 1,000 minutes or so. In other words, you've got the momentum going, and then you say, oh wait, I'm supposed to think positive thoughts so that I can feel more positive. And then you say, just kill me now, because really, there's not much you can do about it. And so what we're wanting to help you to realize is that you have much better control over your momentum in the early stages of it than you do in the later stages of it. Once law of attraction gets hold of it, you sort of have to crash and burn a little before you can come up for air. And the best way to sort of cleanse that palate is a good night's sleep, or even some sleep. Because when you slumber, your point of attraction stops. You're not actively attracting to you while you are asleep. It's the most wonderful thing that you pre-paved when you decided to come here. I'll give myself an opportunity to stop the momentum of unwanted thoughts. So that means when you put yourself in your bed at night, you can say, oh good, the momentum will stop in a little bit here. And in the morning, I'm going to get it going just the way I want it to. So we've been describing to you, and you've been following along so well, that we have some analogies here for you today that are going to make it very easy for you to figure out what to do as you're moving through your day, different aspects of your day, under different vibrational conditions. We want you to realize that while you have created this vortex version of you, this vibrational version of you, that it is a reality that until it manifests, you're not that excited about calling it a reality, but we are, and you don't need to worry about it. It exists even in your ignorance of it. So if we can convince you that it exists, if you can just sort of take that on conceptual faith, you haven't proven it to yourself yet, but you understand the laws of the universe. The laws have shown themselves to you in enough ways that this is logical to you. If we can convince you that there is this vibrational version, then the only thing that you are wanting to be aware of is what is your right now because of what you're thinking and speaking, because of what you're saying, whether you're remembering it from the past or focusing on the present or anticipating into the future, whatever you're doing with your mind right now is causing you to choose some relationship with some vibrational versions that you've set into motion. So we began describing to you that while this vortex is there, and we said to you, get in the vortex, become a vibrational match with your vortex. Now we are saying to you the same thing in a little bit different way. Understand what your point of attraction is, which is the same thing as saying, understand what the vibrational frequency is that you're offering, which is the same thing as pay attention to how you feel right now. Because your emotions are letting you know the vibrational relationship that you have with this furthermost expanded version of you. So we want you to get the mental picture that there is a vibrational version that you've set into motion, and that as you stand in your now, depending upon what you're speaking about or feeling about or thinking about, you are establishing a relationship with this vortex version. But we also want you to know that when you're in a bad mood, you're launching a vortex version too. When you are in fear, you're launching a vortex version. When you're in joy, you're launching a vortex version. Now, the only vortex version that is being tended by us is that high frequency, that high flying, pure positive energy vortex version. That's where we reside, in a place of non-resistance. So when you launch one of those rockets, and we recognize it as that new expansion of you, we achieve the vibrational frequency with it, and we maintain. And it's important for you to know this. We maintain, we're talking about source energy, we're talking about your inner being, we're talking about all who love you, maintain that high frequency that you have achieved through the life that you have carved out. And it's like shining that frequency so that you will know it when you feel it. And equally important, you will know it when you're not feeling it. In other words, you will know by the way you feel your vibrational relationship with that vortex version of you. Esther had the dashboard cards made, and the first group of them were edited for space, and they said, things always work out for me. And Esther could feel the slight offness of that, because every time she's heard us say it, she's heard us say, things are always working out for me. Present tense. They are always. In this moment, they are working out. In this moment, they are working out. In this moment, they are working out. No matter what's happening, and no matter what your perspective of what's happening is, things are working out. And as you practice that thought and come to own that, your concerns will be replaced with feelings of adventure, and your fears will be replaced with feelings of adventure and eagerness. Your confusion will be replaced with more moments of clarity, and your scrutiny of your time-space reality will be replaced with a feeling of appreciation of the bigness and the fullness and the possibility of it. The vibrational acuity that you have embarked upon as a result of the hours that you've patiently listened to us rambling here today has put you on a bouncing off place that will bring evidence to you immediately. And as you savor each and every particle of the evidence that is coming in response to your newfound vibrational frequency. You see, we've been here way more than 68 seconds. And we've come around to it again and again, way more than 68 seconds. You've practiced the vibration of the high-flying disc just by participating here in this day in ways that you've never practiced it before. You are vibrationally altered. And the universe will respond to you in those differences. The request that we now make of you is that you consciously acknowledge the vibrational differences, that you consciously acknowledge your realization of those differences. And that's how you maintain this momentum. The momentum that you felt when you made the decision to come here to begin with. The momentum that in physical words and terminology can be described like this. This is who you are and how you felt coming into this physical experience. I am a powerful creator, and I could not be more worthy or more loved. I am entrusted with the variety of this time-space reality, understanding that it will stimulate within me personal preferences, each and every one of which can be fully manifested and realized by me. I am the creator of my own reality, and I'll be co-creating with lots of others who at varying degrees will understand their own creative prowess. I'm born with an emotional guidance system that will always let me know where I am in relationship with the expansion that has been set out before me by me. And the alignment that I find and the resonance I feel in the form of emotions that feel like joy and eagerness and passion and love and appreciation and frustration and anger and despair. The emotions that I feel are my indicator of my vibrational placement, my vibrational point of attraction in this moment in time, which is where all of my power is. Today, we have literally pushed that reset button so that you are in that fresh new place, if you will allow it. So get your notebook or the memo pad on your iPhone and take note of the realization that's going to begin in the moment that this music starts, in reminding you of the perfection of that which is you, of the love that Source has for you, of the perfection of your moment in time, of the improvement in your vibrational state of being, of your rightness in this place in the universe, of your perfect timing in choosing to be here, in your perfect rendezvousing with those who are surrounding you. Make note of the obvious differences in your point of attraction. And in doing so, you will keep this momentum going. And it is our promise to you that not only will you continue to live happily ever after, but everything that you've been asking for will begin in this moment flowing steadily, directly, swiftly, and with ease into your experience. The fun part for us is that we saw you put each piece in the vortex, but you've forgotten the pieces that you've put there. We've seen the vortex spin the cooperative components into this future experience that you want, that you don't even know that you want. So you are, maybe for the first time ever in your life, in the place where, as it unfolds, you're going to know it as we know it. So Hester calls them lightning strikes, shivers, and rivers of energy flowing. You're going to get a lot of those. Think you're ready for what's about to come? Do you believe, and this is the most important question of the day or ever, do you believe that in a few short hours of focused intensity that you can set the tone for what happens next? Yes. We like that you know that. And so now we just want to tell you this one small thing. Everything that we just told you about your future experience, we love you so much, only applies today. In other words, tomorrow you got to start it over again. Tomorrow you got to pick the disc and get the momentum going. And the next day you got to pick the disc and get the momentum going. You can't fall back into old pipes and get that momentum going. This momentum is good for today, but it's enough for you to know the power of it. And we'll be right there with you.